Rebuilding wetland buffers, page 44. Most years, storms in the Gulf of Mexico cause flooding in coastal towns like New Orleans. Floods can force people to blank, number 1, their homes, and can cause extensive damage. Under natural conditions, the Mississippi River brings sediments from the hundreds of kilometers away and deposits them where the river enters the Gulf of Mexico. These sediments form large coastal blank, number 2. Healthy coastal wetlands act to protect communities from storms. But people have changed the path of the river, and some places do not receive those sediments blank, number 3. In the early 1990s, engineers were looking for a way to rebuild nearby wetlands to protect New Orleans from flooding and provide habitats for wildlife, blank, number 4. Part of solving any complex problem is to precisely determine the criteria. Criteria are the standards against which the success of the solution is blank, number 5. In this case, the solution is successful if it restores healthy blank, number 6. There are also constraints on the solution. For example, if rebuilding the wetlands is too expensive or causes additional flooding, then the city may decide that a blank, number 7, barrier would be better than natural wetlands. Sediment diversions rebuild wetlands. A successful solution to rebuild wetlands is found at Wax Lake Delta in Louisiana, shown up above in Figure 4. In the early 1940s, workers dug a channel to divert water from the, Atchafalaya River into the Gulf. The purpose of the channel was to divert the river away from nearby communities and avoid blank, number 8. However, the river diversion provided a surprise, blank, number 9. After digging the diversion, the river deposited sediment into the Gulf, and new wetlands formed at a rate of 2.8 square kilometers per year. Soon, wetland plants were growing on nearby formed blank, number 10. In Figure 4, you can see that wetlands continue to expand and form healthy wetland ecosystems that protect local human communities against flooding more effectively than the original blank, number 11. Protecting local communities from flooding. The solutions that engineers decided on for Wax Lake would not work well in New Orleans. A permanent river diversion is difficult to construct in densely populated communities on low coastal lands, such as those around New Orleans. People in this region use levees, reinforced riverbanks that prevent high waters from flooding neighborhoods during blank, number 12. Levees prevent the natural flow of water and sediment that build blank, number 13. Opening up a hole in a levee to divert river water would restore wetlands, but could also lead to dangerous flooding of surrounding communities. To ensure that their solution is successful, engineers consider both criteria and constraints as they develop their design. In New Orleans, engineers constructed a different kind of diversion to address flooding issues. The Canaveral freshwater diversion is built into a levee and acts as a door to open or close as it is blank, number 14. This controls how much water enters the surrounding wetland. The door is open when there is no risk of flooding and closed when there is a risk of flooding. Engineers have collected data on the impact of the diversion on the blank, number 15. Since its construction, surrounding coastal wetlands have started to form again as sediments from the river are deposited. Solutions that recreate wetlands may be different depending on local conditions. Taking into consideration the specific criteria and local constraints can help engineers design an effective solution.